She stands frozen at the courthouse doors, fingers clenched around a torn canvas bag. The strap digs into her shoulder. Her hoodie, grey once, now stained and sagging. Jeans worn thin at the knees. Frayed, damp from the morning rain. A security guard narrows his eyes. Another shifts in place and scoffs. "You cannot come in here like that." She blinks, swallows, starts to speak. "I have a hearing," but they are already shaking their heads, dismissing her, as if she is invisible, or worse, unwelcome. She backs away slowly. The bag drops to her feet with a soft thud. She lowers herself onto the cold concrete steps, presses her palms to her face. She cannot afford to miss this. Not today. Then a door creaks, quiet footsteps. A clerk leans out, whispers something no one else hears. Inside, the courtroom goes still. The judge enters, looks once, then says calmly, "Sit down." And everything changes. Her name was Elise. 19 years old, quiet, thoughtful, the kind of girl who kept her head down and her heart guarded. Her eyes said more than her voice ever could. She had no parents, no permanent home. She had been drifting from shelters to friends' couches, sleeping where she could. But she had one reason to keep going. Her little brother, Caleb, just 7. She had raised him since day one. Their mother had overdosed when Caleb was a baby. Their father had walked out long before Caleb ever spoke a word. So Elise stepped in, changed diapers, made meals, helped. With homework. She was not perfect, but she tried. Every day. Now Child Services wanted to take Caleb away. They said Elise was too young, too unstable, too poor. The court had scheduled a final custody hearing. If she missed it, she would lose. Caleb forever. She had no car, no money. But that morning, she walked 2 miles to the courthouse, in the cold, in the rain. She arrived early. Nervous but ready. She believed showing up would be enough. That love would count for something. But the guards, they saw only her clothes, her dirt, her poverty, and they decided that was all she was. As Elise approaches the security checkpoint, conversations pause. Eyes scan her from head to toe. Her hoodie clings damp to her arms, wrinkled, torn near the seam. Her shoes squish with each step, soaked from stepping into a puddle she did not see. One guard chuckles under his breath, loud enough, cruel enough. "This is not a shelter. You need to leave," he says, not even looking at her directly. She straightens, tries to steady her voice. "I have a hearing. My name is Elise Martin. It is about my brother, Caleb Martin." One checks the list. No one asks for ID. No clipboard, no computer. Just silence. The second guard crosses his arms. "You cannot go in dressed like that. You are disturbing the people inside." He gestures toward the exit. "Go wait outside. Someone will call you if they need you." Her heart drops. Elise backs away, dazed. Her hands tremble. Cold. Empty. She has not eaten since last night. 10 minutes pass, then 30, nearly an hour. He watches through the glass, willing someone to glance her way, to recognize her. But no one does. Inside, the clock ticks. The judge moves through the docket, case after case. Caleb waits in a quiet room down the hall, clutching his stuffed giraffe, the one he sleeps with every night. Elise had promised. "I will be there. I will not leave you." Now she is outside, alone. A stranger pauses. "Are you all right?" Elise forces a nod. "I am fine," she whispers. But inside, everything is breaking. Inside the courthouse, the hearing room fills with quiet tension. Suits shift in their seats. Papers rustle. The judge walks in and takes her place at the bench. Social workers are ready. Attorneys lined up. Everyone is present, except Elise. The clerk stands. We will begin the matter of Caleb Martin. Social worker rises. Her tone is flat. Your Honour, the guardian failed to appear. Murmurs float across the room. We recommend permanent placement in foster care, she adds. The judge glances up. She did not show? Correct, Your Honour. A frown crosses the clerk's face. That is strange. I thought I saw a young woman by security earlier. Looked nervous, waiting. The judge pauses, her eyes narrow. Find out, she says, voice sharp. Right now. The bailiff nods and walks out. Outside, Elise still sits, knees pulled close, shivering from cold and fear. He approaches. Are you Elise Martin? She nods, cautious, eyes wide. Come with me. Elise stands, quietly wipes her face, follows, without a word. The courtroom door opens. Every head turns, her hair is tangled, her clothes crumpled, shoes still damp, leaving faint marks behind. The social worker leans toward the prosecutor, whispers something. The judge sees Elise, then shifts, her gaze to the two security officers at the wall. Why was she outside? She asks. Silence. No one moves. Her voice sharpens. Sit down, Elise stammers. I just... Sit down, Miss Martin, the judge repeats. This is your hearing, and this courtroom will hear your side. Elise walks slowly to the stand. Her steps are quiet, uncertain. She clasps her hands together to stop them from shaking. Her voice, when it comes, is soft, almost too soft. I love him, she says. The room holds still. He is all I have. Her breath catches, but she keeps going. I know I do not have much, but I make sure he eats. I walk him to school. I help with homework. I read him to sleep. Every night. Her voice cracks. The words sting, but they are honest. Raw. I know I do not look like someone who belongs in a courtroom. I know I am young, but I have raised him since he was in diapers, since he could barely sit up. The judge leans forward, her expression unreadable. Where did you sleep last night? On a friend's couch. She let me stay until the hearing. And your income? I clean houses. Sometimes I help at a diner. It is not steady, but I try. The judge nods, slow. Why were you outside this morning? Elise looks down at her lap, swallows hard. The guards told me I could not come in, said I looked like a problem. Silence stretches. Then the judge turns to security. This court does not judge clothing. We do not judge pain. This is not a fashion show. It is a place of justice. Anyone scheduled for a hearing will be admitted. Is that clear? The guards nod, ashamed, silent. Then the judge looks back at Elise. You are not perfect, but you are present, and you care deeply. She looks across the room. I will not take a child from the only stable love he has ever known. The gavel strikes. Custody granted to Elise Martin. Elise gasps. Her mouth falls open. Then her hands rise, covering her face. She is crying, but this time the tears feel different. Elise walks out of the courthouse, Caleb's small hand in hers. The sun feels warmer than before. The concrete under their feet lighter. Caleb looks up with a grin. I knew you would come. She lets out a quiet laugh, tears still in her eyes. I promised. Outside, a volunteer waits, clipboard in hand, eyes kind. They offer help, Housing options, legal follow-up, fresh clothes, a ride. Elise hesitates. She has always figured things out alone. But this time, someone steps forward before she has to ask. She nods. Okay. And just like that, she accepts. Later, her story reaches the local news. Then national headlines. People talk about assumptions, about how easily kindness gets buried under uniforms and policies, about what it really takes to raise a child with empty pockets but a full heart. The security team issues a formal apology. The courthouse changes how it handles entry screenings, but something bigger shifts. In quiet corners of the world, people begin looking at each other a little longer, a little softer. That day, a judge reminded everyone, justice is not always clean or convenient. It is not about how someone looks. It is about what they carry inside, fair, honest, human. How many people are turned away every day, not for what they have done, but simply for how they look? Elise's story is not rare, but it is real. And it matters. If it touched your heart, please like this video, share it with someone who still believes in love, in justice, in second chances. Tell us in the comments, if you were that judge, what would you have done? And if you believe stories like this deserve to be heard, hit subscribe. Because kindness does not wear a name tag. Sometimes it walks in with tired eyes, worn shoes, and still refuses to give up.